grab the kids, get them to Murray, smuggle them out of Hawkins.
All before anyone notices they're gone.
Dick.
What?
Hello, Byler Nation. I would like to talk about this poster right here that is framed specifically behind Mike and Will in Stranger Things. So let's get into it. This will obviously have Stranger Things Season 5 spoilers, but it will also have Pink Floyd The Wall spoilers, which is the poster I'm talking about, and the First Shadow spoilers. So yeah, if you don't want spoilers for that, if you want to go watch that first or not watch the video at all, then that's your warning. I just want to make clear that what I'm saying isn't delusional. Studying the sets, all the sets are put together, and I think that saying that they're not is it discredits the people who work so hard on the sets. So
I don't know about you guys, but I don't believe in coincidences.
You might recognize something in the poster that kind of reminds you a little bit of what's happening in Stranger Things Season 5, because it's called The Wall, and we have in Stranger Things Season 5 a wall that we don't know a lot about or where it came from, other than the fact that the kids are being held inside it. But I think that this movie actually gives quite a lot of context to what this wall could represent, and I'm going to explain that now, and hopefully that it will make sense. In the animation, the wall quite literally surrounds the main character in a circle, because he's trapped. He can't get through the wall. He's blocked himself off, and he can't get back. It's almost like the exact same thing that's happening in the Upside Down, where there's a circular wall that they can't get through to get the kids back.
This wall is a circle.
Now, our main character in this movie is suffering. And the way that he's been taught to deal with this grief and this suffering is by avoiding it. And if you've watched Stranger Things Season 5, this might remind you of a certain character called Henry Creel. I think that these characters really parallel each other. From what I took from this movie, sure it's a lot deeper than just what I've analysed, but I spotted a lot of things that made me want to make a video. From what I pieced together, our main character lost his father to the war. His father never came home, and everything that follows is people repressing his emotions. One example is his teacher in class gets rid of his poetry.
Absolute rubbish, laddie!
Which is a way he's expressing his emotions and processing things, because you're supposed to process when terrible things happen. Otherwise they get built up inside you, and basically repression is bad. But what happened to this character, he did repress his emotions, and I think that's very reminiscent of Henry Creel specifically from The First Shadow, that he went through a really traumatic thing and then he hid from it. When Henry was a child, he went into a cave and he got possessed by the Mind Flayer particles. The Mind Flayer particles were in the cave. Henry got possessed by these particles. He went missing into Dimension X for I think 12 hours. And then he came back and he was acting completely different, and he said that he didn't remember anything that happened. I think that this is a case of blocking out the traumatic memories. If you don't know, when traumatic things happen to your brain, sometimes your brain will block it out until you're ready to deal with it. So maybe Henry did forget. Maybe his brain blocked it out and he still hasn't dealt with that trauma. It seems like this. The way that we've been set it up in Volume 1 is that Henry won't go into this cave. Max is safe in the cave. This is the same cave from The First Shadow, by the way.
He won't come in.
He won't go into this cave, and I don't think it's even he remembers what happens and he doesn't want to revisit that. I think he just knows that something bad happened there and he doesn't want to remember. He doesn't want to remember it all because it was really traumatic for him. So why am I talking about Henry paralleling this main character? Specifically for what it could mean for Mike and Will, this movie is very traumatic. It's like a fever dream. It's like watching a fever dream. It's like a mix of animation and I think it's a perfect mix of animation and like live action, and it tells like a really profound story of like what's happening inside and outside of this character's brain. He's haunted by his past in the form of monsters. One thing I found very interesting was one of the monsters that he runs from, it has the same mouth as a Demobat. Henry parallels his character. Specifically, we're talking about the wall here. The wall is very important in Pink Floyd. The wall is like a metaphor for this character blocking off their emotions. They can't get through the wall. He can't find peace because he's built up this wall around himself and he's completely blocked off from his emotions. The camera zooms on his face and it also zooms on the wall, and we get a glimpse of what is actually behind the wall, and it's very important. It's his younger self that he blocked out, I guess, as a response to his trauma. Kind of reminds me of someone. Kind of reminds me of what's happening in the Upside Down, where the kids are trapped in the wall. What I'm trying to say here is Henry paralleling this character means this wall in the Upside Down could be his wall, his blocking off of emotions. It could be a metaphor for that, at least.
I have a plan.
That maybe once Max goes through and rifles Henry's emotions out and makes him remember, his wall will fall and he'll be open to his emotions again. Because, like, they still do need to take down the wall. Like, once Max gets her and Holly out of there, Holly's physical body is still going to be trapped. That's just a theory. But I said Byler Nation, didn't I? I need to talk about Byler. In this movie, our character targets people who are different. Our main characters are all outcasts. They're all different. Dustin has a disability. Will is gay. Mike is in a gray area. We don't know about him yet. We haven't seen his POV. Will, just wait. We've already seen at the end of Volume 1 Vecna targeting Will for being gay, for being in love with Mike. In our movie, in Pink Floyd's The Wall, there's a chilling scene where he's like a Nazi leader. I mean, if you don't see it, then you've got your eyes closed. I don't think I need to explain it. But like fascism does, it calls out anyone different and throws them to the wall. It throws them to the wall. He calls out,
Are there any queers in the audience tonight? Get him up against the wall! Yes!
it goes from that to
The door was got
it escalates. It's no one can be different. Everyone has to be the same. Society has to be controlled. Fascism. This is the same with Henry. I mean, he was different as a child, and he's taken that and projected it onto our characters. With Will, he targets him because apparently Will is weak, even though we know that's wrong. Henry is just projecting the fact that he feels weak onto Will. I feel like deep down Vecna is sort of jealous of Will in a way, because Will had this big support system. He had Joyce, he had Mike, he had Jonathan, he still has them. When Vecna was a kid, he didn't have what Will had. He didn't have the support, he didn't have the understanding, and it drove him to become what he is today. He lost a part of himself that day in the caves, and I guess he tries to get it back by traumatizing children. There's a song in the movie, it's called Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. It explains a lot about our main character and also about Henry. The blocking off of emotions so that you don't have to deal with it. The distancing yourself from people in your life because you feel like they only disappoint you and you don't want to be hurt again. So we have our escape from Camazotz. Max has a plan to get out of Henry's mind. We don't know what it is yet, but I think it will entail Max opening Henry up to his trauma, and it will break his wall. I feel like the wall in the Upside Down, it looks sort of like a brain, right? It looks like flesh. It looks like human and alive. It looks like he's built up a wall almost like in his brain that he needs to take down, or Max needs to take down so that she can get the kids out. There's a sequence in the show where the kids are put into this machine and they're singing Another Brick in the Wall. I think it's part 2 by Pink Floyd. But basically, it's just showing, oh, the kids are just another part of this machine. They're just being used for meat. That's what, in the movie, they come out as meat. They go into the machine and they come out as just meat. Just cogs in a machine, basically. And I think that tells us a story that we haven't fully we don't fully understand yet from volume 1, that the kids are in this wall, right? They're trapped in this wall, connected to these spires, almost like they're powering the wall, or they're almost like they're just another brick in the wall, helping keep it up, helping Henry block out everything that he has feared from his past. I think that that's telling that I don't know what his end goal will be with the children, but I think that's an interesting point to make. How this will relate to Mike and Will specifically, Sean Levy said there was like a volume 2 interview that came out recently, that Sean Levy said he wanted to give credit to Finn and Noah because they carry a lot in the final episodes. I think he said before, Finn carries a lot of emotional weight. And with this still that I'll show on the screen, that's been haunting me ever since it came out. I swear I've been staring at it for so long that it started moving. I just think, this is a self-reflection moment, isn't it, Michael? I just think Mike and Will are going to go through a lot in these next episodes.
This is not over. Not by a long shot.
And I think, if I can be so bold as to say, I think that Vecna's goal with them will be to keep them apart. Will be to stop them from finding out that the other loves them back, right? And if, with Will's powers already, just accepting himself, imagine his powers when he realizes that Mike loves him back. And the whole thing with, it's love versus hate in Stranger Things. It's not about evil versus good. It's about love versus hate, and how hate can destroy you, and how love can bring you out of those shadows. And I just think, if Will found out, then it's kind of over for Vecna. Let's be real. So why am I saying this? Because I think that just like in our movie, the way that our main character calls out anyone who's different, specifically queer people, I think that Henry called out Mike, and I think that's how we will get a reveal to the audience in Volume 2 that Mike isn't the person he's been painting himself as these past few seasons, that there is more to his character than just Eleven's boyfriend. Quite specifically, that he doesn't want to be Eleven's boyfriend, but I don't know, maybe I'm being too delusional, too wild with that one. I think that Vecna will out Mike to the audience. I think that Mike and Will play like a pivotal role in getting the children back. I think that's an important thing for Will, for him to do, because he went missing in the Upside Down, and he knows how hard that was and how hard it's been for him to deal with that for basically the rest of his life, because trauma never leaves you. I think it's important that he plays a role in that, and it's important that Mike plays a role in that too, because Holly is his sister. We haven't really seen Mike give any emotional reaction to the fact that his mother and father are in hospital and his sister's missing. We haven't really seen him do anything with that. But, I trust Sean Levy. Finn is going to be carrying a lot of emotional weight in Volume 2 or in the next episodes. So, we can only expect, right? We can only hope. Something, I remember standing by the wall and the guns shot up over heads and we kissed as though nothing could fall. And the shame was on the other side. Yeah. The church is right next to the wall as well. Come on now. Church gay real, church gay real, church gay real, church gay real.